Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you behind the scenes on how to place and submit an offer on the Exceleras REO disposition platform. Now, Exceleras is used mostly by SPS Loan Servicing, which is one of the larger loan servicers in the country. And this site is used, as you're going to see here, as a platform or website for the seller to communicate with everyone involved with the transaction, from the real estate agent, the attorneys, property preservation, title companies. Everything is done through this platform. If you're a buyer or investor out there, you cannot go directly to the seller. You've got to utilize a real estate agent, whether it's the listing agent or your own agent. Doesn't matter. You have to use an agent to put in your offer, which I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So the first question would be probably, where would you find these foreclosures? Well, you can go directly to SPS's website, spsreo.com, where they're going to list all their properties, which is a really good resource. But most people, most investors are going to see these from either Zillow or from the MLS. I don't know of any SPS property that will or would not be listed on the MLS. I've been working with these guys for over 15 years. I've been working with them so long that the first assignment I got from them was when they used to be Fairbanks Capital back in 2003. So I've been working for them a long time. They're going to list all the properties in the MLS. So most people are going to see property online through Zillow or Redfin or Trulia, Homes.com, one of those websites. The other way is that your real estate agent is going to find a property and they're going to know it's a SPS, Exceleras platform foreclosure because it's going to show it in the MLS, agent notes. And this is what the agent's going to see in the MLS. It's going to tell them, and this is copied directly from our listing agreements, and this is what we're giving as the listing agents to post in the MLS. All offers must be submitted by the buyer's agent using the online offer management system. Access the system via the link below, and you're going to see in the link right here where it says spsreo.com. So these links are going to take the agents directly to the website, which I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're back now at the main SPS website. I'm just going to put in the state of Florida to pull up a property. One thing I do want to show you real quick while we're on here, you're going to see submit offer, and some properties you're going to see in auction. In auction just means that another company is handling it. That means that you're not going to be submitting an offer through the Exceleras platform, which all the submit offers, that's what you're going to be doing. The first page that's going to pop up once you try to submit an offer, and this is just making sure that only agents are getting into the system. So after you log in, the very first page you're going to come up to is this buyer agent technology fee agreement page. And this is giving you the requirements that only licensed agents can submit offers. And it's the first time that the buyer's agents are really getting hit with the fact that they have to pay $175, to represent their buyer to buy this property basically. And there's no way around this. Not only is the buyer's agent being charged $175, the listing agent is also being charged the exact same thing per property for $175. And this is really important because this is telling you right here, before you go any further, you want to have your purchase contract and your approval letter or your proof of funds for a cash deal. You want to have those in a PDF format, have them separate, ready to be uploaded, because you're going to have to upload these before you can go any further. And here at the very end, it's going to show you that it makes the agent acknowledge that they're a licensed agent. It also makes them acknowledge the technology fee, and it shows you right here, time stamps it, date stamps it, and everything. So this is the actual offer submission page, and it's going to give all the buyer's agent information up here. And the first thing you're going to come to that we're going to have to start typing information in is going to be the buyer's names. Just let me say this real quick. Make sure you use the correct name that the buyer wants this thing to be deeded to. In other words, do they want it in their personal name or as an investment, and should it be going in their LLC? Now, here's what a lot of buyers do. They'll go ahead and write the contract and place it in their personal name, knowing that they have all intentions to have it changed and have it titled and closed in another name, like an LLC or something. Try your best to do that in the very beginning, because swapping this and having names changed and added is not that easy with some clients. It actually can be very difficult. Sometimes they'll make us go redo contracts and addendums and stuff if we start changing the contract names. So try your best to get whichever name they wanted in. the first time. And if you're going to put it in LLC, you better be prepared. You're going to have to supply the LLC signing docs, who has the right to sign and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have to submit those. So here's where you start putting your offer price. Let's just say this thing's going to be $100,000 to make it simple. You see right now your net amount's $100,000. We'll come back to that because it's very important. Your earnest money, put whatever amount you want to put down. I suggest if you're doing cash deals and you're a cash investor, go ahead and do 10%. A lot of clients like Fannie Mae have a minimum requirement on cash transactions of at least 10% down. So get in the habit of that. It'll actually help you get more deals in the long run. Select your method of payment. So normally it's going to be bank wired or a cashier's check. Personal check's the only other option, but remember, if you write a personal check, the title company's going to have to hold that thing for a certain amount of days to make sure it clears and that kind of stuff. So normally you're going to do a bank wire. Do you have inspection contingencies, yes or no? Hey, most offers I'm seeing that get accepted nowadays are having 0 inspection contingencies. Everybody's doing all they can before they place the offer and get the winning bid. If you do have inspection contingencies, I tell everyone, try never to go more than 10 days. Here in Florida, we don't have any type of attorney contingencies, so that's always going to be a no for us. Now here's where you're going to say if it's financed or cashed. If it's cash, then here at the very bottom, you're going to have to upload your proof of funds. These two things have to be uploaded before you can hit the submit button, okay? So if this is flagged as finance, you're gonna have all of this stuff to fill out. Here's where you get to your cost credits. So this is where you're asking the seller to pay a certain amount of stuff. Termite cost, home protection plan, FHA cost credit. Let me tell you, if you're gonna do this, the best way to do this is just do something like a total buyer closing cost in a dollar amount, whatever it might be, $3,000. Don't go in here and start putting separate stuff. It really limits your amounts in the long run. And if you put one main lump sum to cover everything you want, it makes it a lot easier. And the sellers like this a lot more. Also, right here, this is where you're going to tell it if the seller needs to pay the buyer's agent commission. They'll pay it, but it's a negotiable thing. And let me show you. You see how we put $3,000 right here in the BCC? Now it says $97,000 on the net offer. If you go and put, let's say the buyer's agent wants 3%, so he wants $3,000 from the buyer for this, for representing them. Now your net's $94,000. So this stuff right here in your description and these costs, let's put a termite report cost, $100. See, all this affects the net, and this is the only main thing that the seller really cares about. So down here is where you're gonna have to upload your documents before you can go any further. If you want to put any comments down here, this is the place to put them. I'm going to be honest with you, majority of the asset managers doing these deals and looking at these transactions are not looking at these comments. They don't read them, 9 times out of 10. Once you get it submitted, it'll be in the system, it'll email you. It should email the listing agent also, so they're notified there's an offer, and the offer will show up in the Exceleras platform for everybody that's handling this property. So once you hit submit, that offer is recorded. And that's it for the Exceleras platform. If you have any questions or comments, please just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer. As always, I really appreciate it. Thanks, and have a great day.